Okay, part two. Here's the bridge. Right. I think this is interesting. You may not, so skip this till you get to a less boring bit if you wish. But when it comes to the bridge, after don't let me down, or Tell Me Love Can Be Found. This is Mel Collins' solo that we'll get to in a minute. There's huge block chords, and Mick Ralphs plays. Right, there's huge E chord, but he then what's name again? G. There's a guitar solo, right? There is, I found out last night about 10 o'clock, a remastered or remixed version of this album. I think this would be the first time it ever came out in CD. And I listened to it a couple of times on YouTube, and it sounds different. On the original album, I think it sounds like you. This is, of course, Don't Let Me Down. And then it goes to, and Mel Collins, fantastic sax player. Plays that solo. I'm playing on guitar, he played on sax obviously. And you hear this E chord, right? And then a D. And it's got an extension. Right? But in the remix, it's like this. Here comes the bridge. And it's like they've really turned up Mick's guitar, and it sounds sensational, but it doesn't swamp what else is going on. What else is going on is Mel Collins' sax solo. I'm sure you know who Mel Collins is. He played with Camel, played with King Crimson, and I didn't know this, he played with Tears for Fears. I looked that up on my phone to see if there were any other bands with whom he had played. And he guests, as I say, on their debut album. So when it hits E, right, it's never that easy to transpose sax solos onto guitar, but it's a lot of fun. Clarence Clemons ones are really good to go on guitar because they seem to sit on guitar really nicely. David Sanborn's as well, Tom Scott. And I find one thing that sax guys tend to do, or what little I know of sax, is rather than play a major scale, they like this. That kind of, that note makes it Mixolydian. That note, right? So, when we hit the E chord, Mick Ralphs plays Burl Semikirk, maybe Paul Rodgers too on the keyboards, or maybe Paul Rodgers playing an additional guitar, because Paul Rodgers, by the way, is a fantastic guitar player. Right. Mel Collins plays That's his first line. That's the opening line. It's really passionate. I mean, it's like, you know, when you hear it, you just want to roll about on the floor. It's so good. Right? I was trying to get as close as I could to the pitch, and when I played it, I imagined it to be there. Actually, it sounds closer here. Right? And then there's a there's an E, there's that run down to the E of the A flat, and then there's like a, so there's an E and an A flat, or you can go, so that's probably how I would do it if I had to cover the sax solo in a live situation, right? And then he plays that, right? That line, right? Which sounds like he's coming off the, right? And it's where guitar players. So you bend the F sharp, play an A and a B. He then jumps up to, and all this is on sax, by the way, right? So, very slow, it's C sharp, D, B, A flat, F sharp, E, A flat, that's A flat, A, B, F sharp down to D, and then I repeated. Love that line, and then, right, the last line of the solo is this E up to F sharp. So, that's a guitar interpretation. I mean, when you hear him playing on the sax, it's 100 times better. But those are the notes if you were to learn that. Right after that, we get Mick Ralph's guitar solo.